Hi everyone, Matt James here, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Cliff Richard. Now, when I speak to people about Cliff Richard, particularly people in my generation, they sometimes think of this. They usually think of this. Christmas time, mistletoe and wine, children singing Christian rhyme. Or they may even sometimes think of this.
Hi guys, fancy a game of tennis? Mixed doubles?
I've told you, we've no balls, Cliff.
That's okay, you can play with mine. See you down there. Ciao guys.
Bloody hell, what's he in for?
Now, needless to say, when I speak to a lot of people about Cliff Richard, a lot of the time, if I say, actually, I like Cliff Richard, they'll go, really? You like Cliff Richard? Which I think is a little bit unfair, because whilst I can understand people's maybe derision to a certain extent, because I mean, I must admit, over the last couple of decades, a lot of stuff that Cliff has released has not really been my cup of tea. But I also do think there was a period in Cliff's musical career between the mid-1970s up until the early 1980s, where I think he released like the best stuff that he's ever done. I think he had a period where he was just releasing hit after hit. He had some really, really great songs, and I think there's two reasons for this. And these reasons are he had two excellent record producers. He had Bruce Welch, who was better known, of course, for being in the Shadows, and he also had Alan Tarney, who's an Australian record producer, and also wrote a lot of Cliff's big hits at this time. He had a lot of other songwriters that wrote some big hits too, but I do feel like Alan Tarney, in particular, was really prolific for writing a lot of Cliff's big hits. So I've selected 10 songs that I personally feel represent Cliff best in this period. I'm doing this video really for Cliff skeptics. If you're a Cliff Richard fan already, then by all means, carry on watching, enjoy the music. Feel free to comment as well, agree or disagree with my selections. But if you're a Cliff Richard skeptic and you're like, oh yeah, Cliff Richard, yeah, whatever, never been a big fan, I would urge you to listen to these songs that I've chosen. And maybe, just maybe, afterwards you might think, oh, actually, okay, fair enough. Yeah, he did have some good songs. You may also not think that, and that is totally fine as well. But anyway, I've chosen 10 of my personal favourite songs from the mid-1970s, starting with I'm Nearly Famous, which was regarded as his comeback album, and ending with Silver in 1983. First up, we have Devil Woman from 1976. The song was written by Terry Britten and Christine Authors and is probably regarded as one of Cliff's biggest hits. I think it's fair to say that most people know this song, and even those who say they don't like Cliff acknowledge that this song is pretty good. Its use of distorted guitar sounds that also double the melody in the chorus give this song an edge that clearly appealed to people, as it reached number 9 in the UK and number 6 in the US, making it Cliff's most successful and well-known song across the pond by far.
Crystal ball on the table, showing the future, the past. Same cat with them evil eyes, and that's been my kind of life,
Next, I've chosen My Kinda Life, which was released in 1977 and is from the album Every Face Tells a Story. Written by Chris East, the song is very similar, lyrically and musically, to Guitar Man by Elvis Presley. Like that song, it features some great acoustic guitar work and has a general groove that I've always enjoyed. What a fantastic bass line too.
wow, I made it to the city, just me and my guitar. That was where I found a freaky little boy.
For my third choice, I've chosen the title track from the same album. It's not one that's often heard, but I've always really loved it. Written by Michael Allison and Peter Sills, musically it reminds me of a cross between the Ballad of John and Yoko by the Beatles and Honky Tonk Women by the Rolling Stones. It was originally recorded for I'm Nearly Famous, but remained unreleased. Olivia Newton-John then recorded and released her own version in 1976 for her album Don't Stop Believin', before Cliff recorded it again in 1977, where this time it was included on the album.
It never tells a lie.
My fourth choice is another one from Every Face Tells a Story, Hey Mr. Dream Maker. Co-written by Bruce Welch and Alan Tarney, The song is a soulful ballad in which the protagonist talks about the pain they're feeling due to the breakup of a relationship. Interestingly, Olivia Newton-John also recorded her own version of this song first, which was again included on her album Don't Stop Believin'. I've always found this one very emotive, and it's one of my favourites of Cliff's ballads.
She didn't say much, just a little time.
My fifth choice is Green Light from the album of the same name, released in 1978. Written by Alan Tarney, the song has quite a bluesy feel which I've always enjoyed. If you're a fan of the song Take Me to the River by Al Green or Talking Heads, chances are you'll enjoy this song. I could also imagine Jerry Rafferty recording this one, as it reminds me of some of his stuff.
Searching for a green light from just this side of midnight till dawn breaks into daylight. Carrie doesn't.
For my sixth choice, I've chosen Carrie, which is from the album Rock and Roll Juvenile and was released in 1979. Written by Terry Britton, who also co-wrote Devil Woman, and B.A. Robertson, the song has an incredibly atmospheric and almost sinister feel to it. It's got a lovely guitar riff that plays throughout, and there's a great use of dynamics throughout the song. It did well in the UK charts at the time, getting as high as number 4. At number 7 is another one from Rock and Roll Juvenile, with this one being We Don't Talk Anymore. Regarded by many as Cliff's best song, it's certainly one of his most successful, and like Devil Woman, it's one that I believe most people are aware of. Another Alan Tarney hit, it reached number 1 in several countries, including the UK, and sold over 4 million copies worldwide. It's always been one of my favourites. It's just one of those songs that makes you feel good, and has brilliant synth and bass guitar parts.
Throw it away. Used to feel we had it made. Used to feel we could sail away. Can you imagine?
For number 8, I've chosen Dreamin', which was released in 1980 and is from the album I'm No Hero. Written by Alan Tarney again, with lyrics by Leo Sayer, the song was the lead single from the album and is another one that I just think is great. It's got a great groove, it moves along nicely, and it's just really catchy.
4 o'clock, I've been walking all night. It's the time I always think of you. If you could only see through my eyes, then you know just what I'm going through. Power from the
At number 9, I've chosen Wired for Sound, released in 1981 and taken from the album of the same name. This is another famous one, but I just had to include it as it's so good. Another one from the songwriting partnership of Alan Tarney and B.A. Robertson. My main memory of this song is watching the iconic music video as a kid, with Cliff flying around on roller skates gesturing seductively towards the camera. It did well in the UK and Australian charts, where it reached number 4 and number 2 respectively.
to get wired for sound. I met a girl and she told me she loved me. I said you love me, then love means you must like what I like. My music is dynamite. I can't light the fuse and
Finally, for number 10, I've chosen Baby You're Dynamite, which was released in 1983 and taken from the album Silver. Written by Doug Flett and Guy Fletcher, I personally feel this track is incredibly underrated. It's got a great sense of fun and playfulness about it, with a really catchy hook and classic 80s sound, including some stellar guitar work. The music video is pretty hilarious too.
lightning. Oh, you're dynamite. Your lips are so inviting, my senses are igniting. I know I love you to stay. Won't go.